Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. We're starting off front page review and we're starting with the Nation. Major headline, battle for Oshun hots up. Wike, I don't need campaign DG's job to deliver Tinubu in River States and FCT. EU to send observers mission for 2027 election. Apparently they changed their mind. Amzat, Lagos needs bigger budget to meet infrastructure demand. And security, rescue victims in Enugu kidnappers den raid. Okay, so please, what happened to the EU observers? Who took the story?
Okay, so I don't know who said they declined. So
yesterday they declined.
No, but today now they've said that the European Union delegation to Nigeria says it will dispatch an electoral expert mission made up of 2 to 4 independent experts, not just individuals, experts, to monitor next year's general election in the country. He said in a statement, debunking reports that he declined an invitation by the Independent National Electoral Commission, that is INEC, to observe the elections, that the experts would be accredited by the electoral umpire. There were media reports that the union turned down the invitation because of insecurity and alleged hostile treatment of its observers in previous polls. But that in a statement yesterday, the delegation has said that this is inaccurate information and that the reasons, this is inaccurate information also with the reasons mentioned in the report. So they've clarified it that they are coming, they are bringing experts, they are going to observe, and there won't be any bias or influence by anybody.
Fantastic.
Okay. So the same story, yesterday they said they were taking off all the over many hundreds that they used to send to just focus on a few. That's what they are reconfirming in the story.
So it's not covering exactly, as much as before.
Just as they said yesterday, they are no longer going to disburse the old budget to observing elections. They will just have a few observers, and we reacted to the story. So I have the story of the Deputy Governor of Lagos State. He was on Fresh FM yesterday at Oregon, and he was responding to questions about the inadequate infrastructure in Lagos. He says that Lagos would require a much larger budget, that would provide to meet the daily needs of Lagosians on infrastructure, responding to their needs for effective transportation, modern housing, efficient healthcare, effective education, and other critical sectors. And he said that the government was presently investing heavily in infrastructure across the state, but the available resources remains inadequate to address the enormous demands of rapidly growing population, which would address on our hot topic. He said as far back as 2011, Lagos was already budgeting 700 billion for infrastructure, so you can only imagine what is required today, even though the Lagos State Public Works Corporation carries out routine maintenance of roads across the country, and they used to have about 14 maintenance groups. They've increased to 34 teams of engineers who go around Lagos identifying and rehabilitating bad portions of road. So the population and the growth require increased revenue, increased budget allocation for infrastructure growth. Talking about 9,911 roads in Lagos. So it's huge. We would address all of that in our topic.
All right.
So I took the victims who were freed by security men. They raided the kidnappers den. They had kidnapped them on the 2nd of August in Enugu. They attacked the St. Catholic's Church in Udi local government area. They said they met there, they met cash they believed to be ransom payments, arms and ammunition. They recovered all this during the raid. During the raids, they also neutralized one of the kidnappers. They freed the remaining 2 of the 3 victims, Seminarian Lawrence Igbo and Mr. Emmanuel Onwudi. They said, so the governor has said that if you want to do your criminality, don't come to Enugu. He assured the people that this administration will continue to prioritize and invest in security of their lives and property. He also said that there was one fatality. One of the kidnappers was killed, and the other 2, and I think, because I'm not seeing the video, but he says, as you can see, have been apprehended, and they will face the full wrath of the law. We have made it clear that if criminality becomes your venture, Enugu State is not the location to do that business.
That was what they call reading the riots.
Yes, so they go any other place, but here it's not where you will. So I like that he was talking tough, and I like that they freed the victims. Well, I heard of another 2 or 3 yesterday or so. So I hope.
In the same Enugu?
I'm not sure if it was Enugu. I know it was in the east.
Wow. It's okay. Did anybody take Wike's story? So, our minister for FCT has, reassured of his loyalty and capacity. He said that he doesn't need to be the campaign DG to deliver Rivers State and FCT to the president. He said that he dismissed claim that he's among those lobbying to become the DG of APC. This is a member of PDP.
I'm telling you.
And so he said he's not even saying that it's ludicrous for them to be accusing him of his desire. He just reiterated that a PDP card-carrying member is going to deliver his state to an APC president. What we cannot do. What
we do not see in Nigeria is not
here. It does not exist. You can see every version in Nigeria. Let's move on to Daily Sun. Major headline, politics. APC Akume dismiss Atiku Obi Duke. Others says other presidential candidates are no threat to Tinubu. And in other news, Oshun 2026, battle for Oshun intensifies as Adeleke Oyebamiji, Najim Salam trade claims. 2027 will send election expert mission to Nigeria, says EU. And we've taken the story, the abduction that took place as the Governor Mba talk stuff in Enugu. So I'm sure we have more stories inside because all the stories are covered with MTN celebrating 25 years anniversary. All right.
Yes.
We take a story. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll take our stories from Daily Sun. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing the front page of the paper. Wike has a story for us in the Sun.
Yes. So I took the Northern Christians fault Islamic cleric over Muslim ticket. So I want to just give you a background to the. So sorry. Before I give you the chairman of the Northern Christian Association. Reverend Joseph John Haya has condemned the Islamic cleric Sheikh Sani Yaya Jingi supporting, he had made, so let me give you a background. He had made a comment in Kano over the weekend in front of the governor of Kano and the governor of Jigawa, saying that Christians, Muslims, why are they complaining about Muslim ticket? That Muslims should not even listen to them. That Muslims, they are more than Christians in Nigeria, and that Christians are infidels. So they don't know why we are complaining. Why they are complaining? He really spoke down about Christians. So people have been reacting over the weekend and right up till today, and that's why this cleric is, and even some Muslims have come out, a lot of Muslims too have come out to say, this is not what Islam is about, that we accommodate everybody. For me, my own comments is, why would he say such a thing? Why would he even allow that kind of thing to be
popular, come
out of his mouth?
So, a lot of,
and why have the because the presidency, not the president, not the presidency, they are always reacting to everything. They have not reacted, and they should have reacted to this.
So whether they reacted or not,
it's too strong.
It's inciting, and the security agencies should have reacted. This is a video evidence. Before we start to have the narrative of the Christian genocide again, because when these kind of statements are made, there are no arrests, there's no prosecution, you let it land and let it slide. That's why you can give some credibility to these conversations when they start to happen.
Exactly.
And arrest and prosecute immediately. This kind of inciting comments are made. You don't need the entire Muslim to be defending themselves or defending their religion against this kind of hate comments from a cleric.
And you know what the worst part, Nima?
Clerics lack
the worst part is there were two governors there. the governor of Kano and the governor of Jigawa, and they were laughing. And it was there on video. It's not funny.
It's not funny.
It's not funny. I'm not a religious Christian or Muslim person, but I'm just saying from, you know, when I was growing up.
It's about emotional intelligence. That's all. Honestly.
When I was growing up, there was nothing. We went to school with Muslims and we didn't. There was no divisive. That was why there was a Muslim ticket in 1993. I mean, and there was nobody was saying I'm Muslim. But these politicians, this crop of politicians, have now brought this to the fore and made it. No. It's really bad. It's really bad.
All right. What other story do we have?
Yes. So two men have been arrested and detained by operatives of the Benue State Civil Protection Guard. They were allegedly assaulting a woman at the Igbo market at Gwe East local government. So what had happened was that they said that they are volunteers, you know, they are volunteers of the BSCPG, right? And that their instruction was to go and collect levy from the market women. So when they got to this lady, they asked her for levy. The woman said that she had not sold anything that day and she'll be unable to pay for that day's levy. And they insisted, and then they beat her up in public in the presence of other market people, and they beat her up so badly that they had to rush her to the hospital. But then when they arrested them, they claimed that they were doing carrying out their duties, and that they had called their supervisor at the ward, who is the ward commander, and they had told him what had happened, and he said they should arrest the woman by any means possible, whether by force or by fire. So that was what they were trying to do, to arrest her by force, by fire. The woman refused to budge, and that happened.
The answer was to beat her.
They beat her up mercilessly. She was rushed to the hospital. So it's under
investigation.
You will
sleep in that jail.
Yes, it's under investigation, because they're wondering, like, was there no other way to resolve this issue? And that also brings us to the matter of all these levies. This government collect levy, state collect levy, local government collect levy. Still, there's now different bodies still collecting levies. How much are these women actually making in the market? So all these things, the local government chairman really needs to put his eyes down and see what exactly is happening.
All right, let's move on quickly to Nigerian Tribune. Major headline: NLC women demand free peaceful poll in Osun. Adeleke's wife leads women, warns against indiscriminate arrest and harassment. Then another news: I won't be a godfather to my successor. That's from Makinde. As custom dismantles 3.24 billion naira smuggling ring in Southwest. Lassa fear cases hit 1,000 as death roll rises to 237, according to NCDC. Then climate change withdraws Africa's malaria map. East Africa hardest hit. Rising litigation costs raises concern over access to justice in election-related disputes. And then another story that we have is apprehension over looming food crisis. Farmers can't access farmlands in Kebbi, Sokoto, Benue, Plateau, others. Insecurity pushes farmers into poverty, worsens worsening food insecurity. And then we have troops. Troops rescue 33 kidnapped passengers in Zamfara and foil ISWAP's attack on military base in Borno. Another news that is making the headline: experts flag debt servicing crisis as Nigeria grapples with a 159.35 trillion naira bill. Says citizens may pay for it through additional taxes. G100 begins consultation, meets Satiku, Obi, others, fixes unity meeting, summit for next week. Okay, so I know Nima would have the story on litigation.
That's where and it's such a lengthy read. But I like the fact it's an article by the Tribune. They interviewed a few SANs and just to confirm what the cost of litigation is now, addressing rising cost of litigation. They spoke with one of the legal practitioners with the Falana Chambers, Mr. Samuel Ogala. He attributed the rising cost of litigation, which everybody can attest to in the country, to the broader economic realities confronting the countries. Like I said, he said lawyers, the courts, and other professionals involved in the administration of justice operate within the same economic environment that everybody operates, and you cannot keep the cost of litigation at a pegged, extreme, cheap price and expect lawyers to prosper. So, and of course, this has affected the cost of prices, and he says that the MBA should regulate the fees of lawyers, the fees that lawyers can charge. So we have our ethics that guide certain charges, but even though recently they've even amended the legal practitioner remuneration order to reflect higher costs, but it's still not sufficient enough, and he says that they should work on that. Another lawyer, a senior advocate as well, Dr. Biodun Layonu, also acknowledged the rising cost of litigation and the increase in it. He says it's significantly gone up alongside the rise in the cost of living as well. So, and this, of course, means that cost of election-related disputes will be higher, because those are usually the high-priced cases. But the advice generally is to work on these charges to make sure that justice is not reserved only for the rich, that everybody can access justice and make it flexible enough. But lawyers too, we have families and we have kids.
Families, lawyers are also paying bills.
They are also paying bills.
Once we have public defenders now.
Yes, we have.
If you cannot afford a lawyer will be given to you.
Public defender.
We have two lawyers on the show. What did I expect?
Yes, so
please, can we move on to what custom is saying?
Yes,
because
so custom. I
knew that you would take that story.
So the Nigerian Customs Service Federal Operations Unit Zone A (FOU) on Monday had said that it has intercepted 220 consignments of prohibited and smuggled goods valued at over 3 billion naira. Yes, in duty paid value, while clawing back over 728 million naira revenue into government coffers. Now, I wonder where this money is going. What we're hearing, billion. Anyway, so the seizure recorded during the period, as in plenty imported bags of rice, poultry, foods, vegetable oils, then so many different types of drugs, different types, different names. But in the whole thing, the controller of FOUA, Controller Gambo Aliyu, he described the revenue recovery as encouraging and reaffirmed the unit's determination to identify and recover revenue loss through under-declaration, false declarations, and other forms of customs fraud. Because he said that one of the things is that even licensed importers that are allowed to bring in stuff, most times they under-declare. They don't really declare the true value. So when they now search them or catch them, if you do not declare, you know what will happen now. They'll seize the remnants.
Wike, so I have a feeling you are the one that took the climate change story.
I refuse to take it.
It's a lengthy read.
It's I just took the very simple story of the Oyo State Governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, has declared he will not play the role of godfather in the administration that will succeed him. He said he's going to give the governorship candidate of the Allied People's Movement, Honorable Bimbo Akombi, and his running mates the free hand to govern if elected by the people of
Allied People's Movement.
That he changed his party when PDP was doing topsy-turvy. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he wanted to be he's the presidential candidate now.
Oh.
Yeah.
For Allied People's Movement, People's Party, People's Movement.
So he also
fantastic.
He was at the Hijara luncheon, 2026 Hijara luncheon, and he was just thanking the Muslim community for supporting him, and he also thanked the Christians and he thanked the traditionalists.
Very balanced somebody.
Very balanced somebody.
We'll go on a break. When we come back, we'll move on to our hot topic for today. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.